Hello, this is Catherine from Accelerated Reader. Today, I will be reading Pixie Van Dimple and the Wrong Kind of Artificial Intelligence, written by Lynn McAllister. Before I begin reading, I would like to give a big thanks to author Lynn McAllister for sending me this book to read on my channel. In the description below, I have included links where you may find and purchase this book. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Lynn lives in Twickenham with her family. She has two daughters who are 12 and 14. She has worked in education for some years and was compelled to write about current issues affecting the preteens of today, sensing a need to highlight the dangers of living in a technological bubble. Lynn originates from Lancashire and grew up in Lincolnshire, moving to London in the 1990s. Migrating from southeast London to southwest London over the years. Her girls provide the inspiration for the protagonist and heroine in the drama, Pixie Van Dimple. Pixie Van Dimple and the Wrong Kind of Artificial Intelligence, written by Lynn McAllister. For my beautiful daughters, Louisa and Isabella, both emerging into pre-teendom and are very smart and impressionable. They have inspired me to write about a young girl growing up in an increasingly technological environment. Pixie Van Dimple and the Wrong Kind of Artificial Intelligence. Pixie Van Dimple had a most exceptional thought that the advent of smartphones was a wonder of technical evolution, the latest upgrades covetously sought. She may not have thought those exact words, to be fair. The possibilities of Wi-Fi and multimedia messaging gathering pace to propel us to become the most socially connected race. But our consumption of the device, now rising to glutinous degrees, is causing the most terrifying, zombifying brain freeze. Pixie Van Dimple picked up her phone and was compelled to engage in hours of digital discussion, thumb swiping, finger tapping, mobile data usage. On this day, when it happened, there was no premonition of anything untoward. Pixie was on her phone, dutifully tapping away as if in fear of her life or indeed getting bored. Maybe a little frantic, but it made her happy nonetheless. As time went on, and home alone, she did not realize she was reaching the limits of excess. Tapping with fervor, wide eyes locked firmly on the tiny screen. A sudden jolt, a flash, white light, a dozen pinpricks in both eyes. Pixie tried to scream. The AI occupator bugs burrowing through optic nerves to brain, a takeover so positively hostile. Her knees went red, her arms went dead, brain dulled. She just lay there, immobile. Pixie had, she realized, little conscious mind left of herself before the occupators systematically took charge. She cried inside. She had known the risks, seen the signs. Occupators are at large. Occupators were a viral bug threatening to infiltrate the human race. There was only one way to keep them out, and that was to suck them up into cyberspace. The danger limit of phone usage was 2.32 hours before the pesky things got inside your head. If an antidote was not administered within 14.24 minutes, then sorry, you were just dead. The AI bugs take over and you would become an artificial clone. Your face would be recognizable, but your eyes just not your own. The authorities had a department which dealt with this technically. An IT designator would rock up, log on, and press the key. A classified government program named Deoccupate would be loaded. You would be chipped, prepared for decrypt, that is to be decoded. Back to Pixie, you might implore, she is in mortal danger. They must act fast before the die is cast, and the bugs begin to change her. 6 minutes gone, and still no one, about to call the Ministry of Decryption. Pixie's pulse was slow, her BP low, caused by the advancing vasoconstriction. Time was running out, but in no doubt, the bugs had taken control of her transformation. Pixie Van Dimple would be no more, a victim of her own mobile phone fixation. Now you would be right in thinking she had no chance of a last-ditch rescue, but you had not counted on a miracle, a chance in 1 million, no 2. Uncle Pete, who had wandered off the past 2 years to work in Belarus, had returned unannounced to the house after just getting off the bus. Uncle Pete had a spare key, got in, and flung the lounge door open wide, saw Pixie lying there, and thought that she had died. He had the wherewithal to check her pulse and saw her pupils were bright red. He recognized the signs of AI infiltration and recoiled full of dread. But in a flash, he dropped his bags, leapt like a ninja across the carpet to the hall, and with his fist, arm outstretched, he punched the panic button on the wall. Suddenly, a man flew past the window on a skateboard, clutching a laptop aloft his head. He was wearing a suit, a man bag to boot, which had in it a loaf of bread. He swung around onto the drive, and once through the open door, he took a dive into the lounge to see if Pixie was still alive. She was just, so he plugged in the laptop and clamped the decryptor cuff to Pixie's wrist. The app popped up. Tap, tap, tap. The symptoms should thankfully desist. With 8 seconds to spare, the job was done and Pixie was revived. It was a very good thing that Derek from the ministry lived at number 5. He had been on his way home from work, and his beeper had gone off. Head office had it on record that Derek was attending the scene. As this information had come up immediately on their screen, he had grabbed his son's skateboard to give himself the edge, flung himself down the lane, mounted the curb, and cleared the hedge to number 12. The rest is happy in its conclusion, a relief for Pixie and the Van Dimples. Mom and Dad and Big Sister Trixie with her pimples. Uncle Pete was a hero for turning up out of the blue. Pixie had to reflect on her phone usage and concluded she had other interests to pursue. Pixie Van Dimple had frightened herself and had definitely had a really bad day. She decided there and then her mission was clear, you might say. She would make it her quest to stand tall, to lead the revolution, to search high and low for a global solution. Can you help Pixie lead the revolution on the fight against mobile phone misuse? The end. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. In the description below, I have included links where you may find and purchase this book.